You are in for an interesting ride.
Welcome to another Ammach Project Archives episode. We're still with the series Ammach in America, and so today I'm going to welcome you to visit the wonderful sound healer and musician Devara Thunderbeat and author and experiencer K.T. Kelle. She has written some wonderful children's books called Star Kids to help children navigate through some of the concepts that they will find as adults starting in childhood, which is a wonderful thing. So this is just a short interview, 20 plus minutes. And I should also mention that Devara Thunderbeat features on volume 1 of the Eklectia album. And don't forget, folks, you check that album out. It's a world first, a unique compilation album featuring all kinds of music because the genre is in the person, i.e. they're all experiences of one kind or another, and there's some fabulous music. Check it out. And I thought it would be really interesting to hear what Devara and KT had to say about their experiences and their work. Enjoy. With a couple of wonderful ladies who've joined us for an experience chat with Katie and Devara. Thanks for joining us, ladies. So we just want to hear about your experiences and hear from when they began and where they've taken you so far.
Well, I've been having experiences most of my life, and I think it runs through my entire family. I've had brothers, 3 younger brothers, that also tell about experiences they've had. They've seen orbs, and a couple of them have seen craft. So it's We've been busy with it.
Or have you had more intense experiences on a personal basis?
I've had pretty intense experiences from what I remember. Now, a lot of the people don't remember everything, but I do remember when I was about 13, I was picked up walking in the countryside home. It was like 10 miles from the nearest town. But I'm walking from a friend's house back home, and I saw an unbelievable bright light just sitting in the road. And I walked up, I was just going to walk past, and next thing I see is little grays bouncing around. I guess they were scientists taking samples, and they were just so surprised to see me. And that's the next thing I remember. I was walking down the road again, and something was really dark above me, and I looked up, and it just blocked out all the stars, and then it was gone. And it took me years to understand what happened.
Do you have any missing time with that?
And I didn't even check the time. I just went home, and I was in a daze. I went home and went to bed. I was just in a daze. But the years later, I have brothers telling me they see orbs here and orbs there, and the one saw a cylinder type over the lake where we lived and the farm in the country. And
have you had any other encounters with other?
Oh yes, so most of them I don't remember, but I remember recently one I had where I saw lots of different craft. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know that other people in my family were involved.
You did say before we were on camera that it was really a generational thing.
Oh yes, can't go into that too much, but
I don't know whether it's the same for you, Devara.
My first encounter was when I was 4 years old. I was in the daytime playing in the driveway with my tricycle. It was a clear, sunny day in the summertime, and a ship came over and picked me up, and it was cloaked in a cloud, like steam came over the ship, and it cloaked itself in a cloud, and it put me up into the ship, and I remember seeing the steam, and I remember coming up this invisible tube, and saw 3 bars of light, red, yellow, and blue. And I went up between there, and then my mother that came out running after me, trying to catch me, to go, you know,
right, so she
she
saw
saw
what was
me
going on.
like going up into the ship, and she tried to catch me, and they took her up too. So then they rolled me onto this table, and I remember seeing different rooms of colored different rooms, you know, but it was more like frequency light instead of lit up. It's hard to explain. We don't have that here. And that was all I remember from then on. But then after that, we were being contacted, like me and my mother both knew when they would kind of appear sometimes every 6 months, and then once a year. And she would call. She goes, "You know they're here." I said, "Yes, I know they're here, Mom." So they were kind of monitoring us throughout our whole life.
That continue, you being taken as, you know, kind of in tandem for quite a number of years?
For a number of years, and then I had other contact when I moved to Florida, and I had different races contacted me. I don't know why I got this more than anybody else. I know that. And then there was another time I was contacted by another race that when I met the one person, I knew them forever, like a long lost person I haven't seen in like forever.
How did they appear to you?
They were human, and it was like this person. It was like I met this person. It was at a conference, and I had a booth because I set up my music and everything that I sell. I'm activational sound healer, and I remember he was at the conference, and I'm like, I know him, but I don't remember where I ever met him, and I know this person. The only way I could describe it was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you and I miss you. I miss you. Invited me to his mother's house that next evening for dinner, and he told me it was only 30 minutes to get there. He gave me directions. He goes, I'll meet you there. It took me 3 hours to get there. They put me in a hologram. I was driving, and they were putting me in this hologram, making me think I was driving to his house. And I was going around a curve, same tree. Street light were balls of light and with no poles. And I'm driving and I'm going, okay, I just got to get there. I'm late. And I'm like, okay, these street lights have no poles, but I'm not going to pay attention to that because I'm thinking I'm late and my cell phone doesn't work, you know. And then I'm looking to try to find directions. There's no houses. I'm out in the middle of the country. There's no place to even turn off. No roads to ask directions. Then I found this, it said bar, and it had open sign, and it was a big parking lot, and there was no cars in it, and there was a payphone outside. So I said, let me try the payphone. So I went over, tried the payphone didn't work. So let me see if anybody's inside. I walk inside, and the whole place was packed. Now there's no houses, no cars anywhere. I totally felt like I was in Twilight Zone. There's no cars in the parking lot, and the place is packed. And I'm like, okay. And I just said, well, I'm looking for the bridge I told him the street and the bridge, and I go, is it all that? Is it this way? I pointed to the way where it came, and everyone turned around at the same time, and they all went at the same time. And I went, okay. And then these two guys were talking, and they were talking quantum physics. The molecular structure is, and I'm like, okay, this is getting stranger by the minute, right? So then that's what I remembered, and then I had a regression with Dolores Cannon, and I was actually in a spaceship. Wow. They were just doing like a healing. I feel they were doing a healing on me, all like just observing me, and that was like the missing time.
Did you actually get to dinner?
Yes, I did. I left at 9 o'clock, and it was a little after 12 when I got there. And I said, I'm sorry I'm late. And he said, that's okay, you've been through a lot, have a seat. And he was involved because he was part of this team.
So it was a setup.
It was a setup.
Oh my God.
And I knew, I remembered him. Said, we found out, it took many, many years to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. When I was there at his house, there was a couple there. And the couple, the lady asked me, we're talking, and she said, we would love for you to live on our island. I said, what do you do on your island? She said, we work. How many people on your island? She said, 5,000. And we are inviting you to live there. Oh, nice. And I knew, I was kind of thinking I kind of know this is the ship they're talking about. They're calling it their island. Wow. And I said, Jim, that was his name. I said, have you been on this island? He went, I went, okay. And it's like this big mystery, Wow. Well, I found out later that it was a Syrian group, and they told me, and then I found out later that I am part of that Syrian group. They call it. They said that it was a Syrian council, and they represent the Galactic Federation of Light. Wow. And they said they told me there's many councils, there's many federations, galactic federations. Like there's an Arcturus Council and there's Palladian Council. They're all basically the same, but they're all in different districts. And it was very, very interesting to me. They said that I was on the council, and I still don't remember everything.
So do you know what your job is on this council?
Oh, I've been doing it for the last 13, 14 years. I do activational healing music. Brings people into higher consciousness, higher awareness, high states of activation. I just finished my latest CD is a 12 DNA activation CD. So we're using the light, color, sound frequencies to bring people into like activating their clairvoyance, their mental telepathy, their light bodies, filling their bodies with light with these frequencies that disease cannot live in these in your body anymore because of the high frequencies of light that these CDs do.
Do you feel at this time quite a few people seem to sense a sort of a hurry up, a need to move quickly? Do you feel that?
I feel that all the time. It's like, I feel that the planet's moving so slow. They said I was kind of like came from the future to back, but I always feel that the things are moving so slow when I was very, very like young, at 6, 7, 8. I remember looking at the TV going, what is this big box? They don't need this. And how ridiculous TV was, the shows. I liked the first show I ever liked was Star Trek, and things like that, The point is, it's like I always felt that everything moves very slowly here, and I'd like things to speed up. With some of my missions, I call it, my projects.
You're using music and frequency
frequencies and sound and chakras I work with. Like I was overnight in the Great Pyramid, and I was downloaded. I was there overnight, and then when I walked out, I was downloaded. I get messages, and it's always this big thunder male voice comes in. Not in my head, it's like right here in front of me, and it's like always right here. And this one, they said, color, light, sound. 7 is the sacred number. 7 is the sacred number. And they kept repeating that over and over to me, and I knew what they meant. They were talking about the 7 chakras, which are colors, and each one has, and they were telling me each one has an activational sound. Now this is in 1997, before sound healing was even really, really known. Sound healing has only been popular maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years from now. This is 1997, so.
And do you feel that was from meaty context?
That one was, he told me his name and his Archangel Gabriel. And he does work with sound. He told me that he's been working with me a lot for many years for helping with the sound activations for the planet. So the angels have their own mission, they said. They have their help to people on the planet. If you're willing to work and do the service, which I am, they come and help.
The Atlanteans use sound and color. My sister said she was involved with that in another life.
Yes.
Which is very interesting. I wish she'd continued on to this one, but
yeah.
But that's some of the stuff that she did in another life.
Right.
And you're writing, Katie, aren't you, for children?
Yes. With all this that's gone on in my life, I wanted to give something to help the children, so I've started a series of books called Star Friends.
Wow,
and that's for kids and for children?
All adventure and ecology, and it's nothing scary, but actually everything in those books has happened to some abductee. It's just fun for any child to help, but when children see these things on paper and they read stories about, oh, my friend is coming, a little gray ET is coming to play with me, it equalizes things for them, makes it easier for them to accept.
But that's the whole thing with the MASH as well, just going back to what we're doing, why we're doing, it's to try and bring it into the general arena, to normalize it, to take the demonization of it and
or the fear.
All this
and you're doing a great job.
Step by step. It's a slow process. I think it takes a fantastic amount of courage to come forward and really tell your story. During the discussion, there had been some talk of people seeing laser-like beams of light, different colours, coming into rooms or seen emanating from objects.
But I don't believe there's a white one there, but I did see something like that. It was shocking. I felt that it was a reconnaissance type of thing, like they were either coming to check, they can like your mind when you're sleeping or read your dreams. Yes. I've got Native American, Blackfoot, and Celtic in the Kelle.
Come and vibrate my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was never in fear, and I would tell them, come on guys, I'm trying to sleep. I need to get some rest. I had one night at 3 o'clock in the morning. They were vibrating in the house. I woke up and I had a tree by the room window, and they came so close. I heard them break off the top of the tree, and then the top of the tree trunk was this big around, and I heard it go. And I'm like, come on, guys, look, you just broke the tree. I said, and I need to get some rest. And next morning, sure enough, I walked outside, and the whole top of the tree was broken off.
Really?
Yes.
My goodness.
They monitor you, and they wanted to see what you're up to. And I just moved at that time, so they were really checking in on me. Like, you know, I moved from Florida to Sedona, and they were going, what are you doing? Where are you going? And, you know. They implant you to find out where you are at all times, and they were driving me crazy. I found a person that could remove the implants. So he said I had 4 implants from 4 different races, and he removed all 4 of them.
So when you found this person who could take the implants, what was their reaction to you asking for that?
It was normal to him. He knew about this. He's been doing it for years.
And did you notice a big difference when you had those
Oh,
removed?
yeah.
What did it feel like?
Oh, when I had it removed, you mean? Oh, no. Oh, I thought you meant after. No.
Yeah, after you had them removed.
Okay, while I was removing them, I didn't feel a thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then after, yes, I did. They didn't bother me. The first evening after we removed them, they were looking for me, and they went through each ceiling light in my house. They know where I lived, and they went. And they went through the whole house,
just exploding
the ceiling lights and where the fans were, and they were trying to find me. And they only did that one evening, and after that was done, and they never bothered me again after that.
Devara tells us that her implants were etheric, that is, not located in the physical, though she also had some older ones still in situ, which appeared not to be functioning. She thought she still had 7 implants, but she is no longer bothered by those who put them there. Further suggestion was made about the purpose of them being to monitor health with all the pollution on the planet. All of you, or any of you, noticed any particular personal developmental abilities in the clairvoyant?
Yes, it's totally expanded. I can channel a lot easier. It's opened my awareness. I have a CD called Cosmic Dream, which I channeled in the different star systems like Palladian, Sirian, Orion, Nibiru. If I can feel Nibiru when it came last year, and people didn't even realize it, and it came behind the sun, so we didn't get affected by it. And and that's when they talked about, and if anybody heard about the 2 suns, people were saying that was Nibiru. And Nibiru, last time it came in front of the sun, and it's such a huge planet. It's as big as the sun, almost as big as the sun. It's a very magnetic planet, and it actually pulled up the tectonic plates of the Earth, and that's how Atlantis fell, destroyed, was from Nibiru. And now this time it came behind the sun, so our sun protected it, protected us from any magnetic pull. And I still get messages. I call it downloads.
Yeah.
Finally,
And Katie, what about you?
That's how my book got started. All of a sudden, I had this driving ambition to do this book, and just came out of like nowhere, you know. So, but I've had, over my lifetime, I've had visions and I've had dreams, and mostly I can remember these things that have happened to me.
The frequency of the planet is getting higher, and so that's allowing us to see a lot clearer because it thins the veils out. Since our frequency raises, and that's the work I do with the music, to raise people's frequencies. And like I said, when our frequencies get so high that a disease like cancer will not be able to survive in our bodies. And that will eventually happen. I'm not sure if it's this lifetime, but I just know it's coming close, you know.
It does feel something's coming close.
Well, I'm trying to make more contact. I want to remember what happens to me when they take me or take me up, and I actually asked for that. And in a dream, I saw 4 little grays standing in line and all looking at me like, we can't do it now, but maybe soon.
Yeah. So you're still having experience of being taken?
Not that often, although I've had a lot of things in the last year, and I think as time goes on and things are speeding up, I think it's going to happen more often. Well, I am opening up more and asking to open up, so that's helping a
See,
lot.
and that's
also.
the key, is asking.
Yes.
Because we are in a free
Asking.
will zone. This is what I hear. We're in a free will zone. Even Dolores Cannon talks about that.
Yes. Wow.
That if you ask, you shall receive. It is true. They don't want to scare us. And then I've been wanting to write my book for 7 years, and I didn't feel it was safe or ready.
And
but
this would
now,
be about your own ET experiences.
yeah, my
particularly?
ET experiences, and I'm calling it Look Up. And the reason I'm calling it Look Up because everybody goes, well, Thunderbeat, how come you see so many ships? I say, look up.
We were mentioning before, you were, Devara, about the government element and the interest that there was, which is no more, I believe. They've sort of stopped all that you were being tailed.
They want to know what's going on too. It doesn't seem as much in any once in a while.
The humans, I mean.
Yeah. Right, they're checking in.
So,
they're following me around the car, every place I went, post office, food store,
using all those tax
bank.
dollars, as you say, to...
Yes, all our tax dollars,
Yeah.
wasting.
Fun.
And do you have
It's
a website, Katie, that they books out?
It's KTKelle@hotmail.com.
Yeah.
Is that Kelle? K-E?
K-L-L-E, it's spelled.
In the final chat, Joanne mentions an initiative to engage parents with children who report experiences, citing many occasions adults have reported contact events beginning in childhood. In an effort to deal with the taboo of the speaking about this and the fear parents have of suddenly finding themselves under scrutiny with the potential of mental health insinuations or removing the children to care, very real concerns. This initiative, called PACES, has not been rolled out yet. The timing has not been right, but the graphic gives some information for any parents that want to get in touch confidentially. Okay, and we're supporting these people standing up and saying their truth with their children and allowing the children to speak without being fearful of having them taken off them.
That's
Simply
wonderful,
because they're reporting this, which is the case at the moment. It seems to be that anything to do with UFOs and children saying anything, the parents come under scrutiny and evaluation, very sort of stuff. But everybody was a child who's an adult experiencer and remembering their memories, whether it's as an adult or like Jim Sparks. It would be wonderful to have that sort of supported pathway through. And can you imagine how powerful those people would become as supported children, supported adults, feeling very free and empowered to really do their mission.
Absolutely.
For the new
Without
world.
the fear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is exciting. It is really exciting. I have to say thank you very much, Katie, for coming along and joining us, and Devara.
Thunderbeat.com.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So I'd just like to say we're wrapping up here with Katie, Devara and Joanne from Arizona. God bless.